is Kasim Hashimame and I work at the State University of Zanzibar at the School of Continuing and Professional Education under Department of Secondary Education. Welcome to a series of biology lessons. In this session we will look at the structure of the mammalian heart. We will get to see both the external and internal structure of the mammalian heart. But before we proceed any further, I want you to think on what could be the function of the heart for the mammalian body. Is it just a piece of meat with no significance? I'm sure you had come across a certain event or a story where you will hear a person had died of a heart attack, or somebody passed away because his heart stopped working, and many other stories related to the heart. This just shows that a heart is a very important organ in mammalian body. It is similar to an engine of a car. Having said that, a heart could be defined as a muscular organ in a mammals which pump blood through blood vessels of the circulatory system. It supplies the body with oxygen and nutrients, and also it assists in the removal of metabolic waste. Now that you know what a heart is and where it is located, let's take a closer look at the external structure of the mammalian heart. The mammalian heart is broader at the top and narrower at the bottom, as you can see. It is enclosed by a double layer of tough inelastic membrane called the pericardium. The pericardium prevents the heart from overexpanding when it beats. The pericardium fluid helps the membrane to move smoothly against each other. The wall of the heart is made of cardiac muscles. These muscles are unique and undergo continuous contraction and relaxation through life and never come tired. The wall of the heart has three layers: the outer layer, which is epicardium, the middle layer, which is myocardium, and the innermost layer, which is endocardium. The wall of the heart is well supplied with two blood vessels, the coronary artery and coronary vein. The coronary artery supplies the oxygenated blood to the heart tissue, and coronary vein takes deoxygenated blood and waste from the heart tissues. The heart has four blood vessels. These vessels, known as aorta, vena cava, pulmonary artery, and pulmonary vein. These blood vessels takes blood into and from the heart. Now let's take a look at different role of these blood vessels. Aorta carries oxygenated blood from the heart to all parts of the mammalian body. Vena cava does the opposite, and that it carries the deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body to the heart. Pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs, and pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. I hope you have understood the external structure of the mammalian heart, and thus you will be able to explain this to your fellow classmates or even friends and family members. Now let's see how the internal structure of the mammalian heart is. The mammalian heart internally has four chambers. The two auricles are the right auricle and the left auricle, and the two ventricles are the right ventricle and the left ventricle. The left chamber and right chamber of the heart is separated by a wall known as septa. The right auricle is separated from the right ventricle by a tricuspid valve. The role of tricuspid valve is to prevent backward flow of the blood from right ventricle to the right auricle when the ventricle contracts to push blood to the pulmonary artery. Left auricle is separated from left ventricle by a bicuspid valve. The bicuspid valve prevents backward flow of the blood from left ventricle to the left auricle when the ventricle push blood through aorta. At the base of pulmonary artery and aorta, there is a semilunar valve. These valves prevent backward flow of the blood from pulmonary artery to the right ventricle and from aorta to the left ventricle. The wall of ventricle is thicker than that of auricle because the ventricle needs to pump blood to a longer distance. Also, the wall of left ventricle is much thicker than that of right ventricle because the left ventricle needs to pump blood under higher pressure through aorta to all parts of the body, while the right ventricle needs to push blood to a shorter distance just from the heart to the lungs. That is all for today, and I hope you now understand what a heart is, and most importantly, I hope you have understood the external and internal structure of the mammalian heart. Thank you for your attention, and see you again in the next lesson. Thank you.